Hello again, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Annie, and today I'm going to be talking about best cost-effective yarns because the word affordable is different for everyone. So I will try to not use that word of expensive and affordable because it's all relative. However, these are yarns where I think you get a lot of bang for your buck. And if you're wondering if I ever wear anything else, yes, I'm filming all three of these videos at once because I've been wanting to make a YouTube channel forever, and today I got the spark to film myself talking about yarn. So I thought I was just gonna knock out a few different video ideas so I don't lose momentum. So that is why I am still in the same outfit. It is still the same day. So let's get into it. Yarns you can buy at Michael's that I have bought many a time. Ice Cream Big Scoops yarn. This is a partial skein. This is a full skein. Oh, I was gonna say it, but I lost the label. Nope, the label's right here. This is 100% acrylic yarn. It's marketed as DK. It's borders on worsted. I think a pretty heavier DK. You get 10 ounces of yarn, which is 284 grams, which works out to be 1,117 yards or 1,022 meters. So you get a whole heck of a lot of yarn. What I have used this exact yarn for have been all my nieces and nephews' baby blankets. So I've used this rainbow one. This is a second skein I had bought because I wasn't sure if I needed more for one of our older nieces. And then after that, I realized I only needed one skein per child. This yarn, to me, is very soft. It's 100% acrylic. I have no qualms about it. It is affordable. It is machine washable. I don't like to give new parents a chore. I like to give them a blanket. So, Lion Brand, Ice Cream, Big Scoop. Big fan of the Big Scoop. Probably my most used Michael's yarn, just because I can think of 4 projects that I've made with it. Also very accessible at Michael's are these big bad boys, the 1-pounders, I call them. So these are from 2 different brands. This one's Karen 1 pound from Yarn Inspirations, and this is Pound of Love by Lion Brand Yarns. Both are worsted weight, both are acrylic, 100%. And these are great. I don't know if this exact, lately I haven't used them for projects I can think of, but growing up I definitely used these when I was learning how to knit for many projects. I didn't shop at a local yarn store until my mid to late 20s. And I learned to knit when I was 10. So that leaves almost 2 decades of shopping at Michael's. And this is definitely the stuff I used. The other big one that I used a lot, which I think they still make it, is, well, the one I remember using a lot of was Vanna's Choice. I'm not sure if they use Vanna's Choice anymore, but I know they have Impeccable from the Loops and Threads, perhaps. It's like from the Michael's. I think it's only at Michael's, but it's Impeccable. It's 100% acrylic. It's great. I've used that in recent years. I can put some pictures of some hats that I know I made out of that. So yeah, I'm a big fan of acrylic yarn. I think personally for things that I like wearing, I prefer wool because it keeps me warmer. However, I used acrylic exclusively for many, many, many years. Also, access to acrylic yarn is easier than access to natural fibers. I do have some natural fiber options here that I'll talk about that you can definitely find at Michael's, but they're going to be more expensive. And so if you have a certain budget and you want to make something and what you can afford is a big ball of acrylic yarn, go for it and have fun and enjoy the craft. There's no craft shaming in this house. Anyway, so 1 pound by Karen. Let's see, you get, I assume 1 pound. Yeah, 16 ounces of yarn, which is 453 grams. You get 812 yards or 742 meters. So that's a whole heck of a lot of yarn. Similarly, this is way more. Okay, so this is also 16 ounces and it gives you 1,020 yards or 932 meters. But it is considered a worsted, just like this one is. But I feel like the yardage is more similar to this one that was considered DK. Maybe I'm crazy. Well, anyway, it's worsted-ish. All of this is kind of worsted-ish. All right, moving on to some natural fibers that you can buy at big box stores. Wool-wise, we'll start with wool. Patton's classic wool worsted, 100 grams, 3.5 ounces, you get 194 yards. To me, that is worsted. I don't know if this is actually, classic wool worsted. Duh, it's worsted. The white in here, the white is the Patton's classic wool worsted. And this is a Christmas stocking. This is the holiday doodle stocking that I am making for myself. My name is Annie. I am making one for my husband too. However, I was kind of new to color work when I started doing this. So I kind of wanted to work out the kinks on mine and then make him like a perfect one. Because I love him that much. So this is mine. It's still not done. I started it 2 Christmases ago, and it's maybe this year will be the year that we'll have our own handmade stockings. They have a few colors, not a lot. I think there are more online, but my Michaels usually has the white version, the gray version. They have like a marled version, and then they usually have like a deep cranberry, like a red. I don't usually see any other colors besides that at my Michaels, but my Michaels was not always the most stocked Michaels around. All right. The red and the green in this stocking are another yarn that is not bought at Michaels that I'm going to talk about later in the video. I have no notes. Okay, moving on. Still at Michaels, still in the wool category, is Patton's Croy sock yarn. This is a well-known and well-loved sock yarn. It is technically, it's like a thicker fingering. It's marketed as fingering. It's bigger than that. It's like maybe more on the sport weight side. For 50 grams, each ball is 50 grams. So keep that in mind. Usually fingering weight comes in 100 grams and this does not. So if you want to make socks, you should probably get 2 balls of the same color. For that 50 grams, you get 166 yards or 152 meters. It is 75% wool, 25% nylon. Again, I have no notes. I have never made socks with this, however. I've only ever made hats. One of which is right here. The ends are not woven in. I made this a while ago, and the ends are still not woven in. So even if you don't end up getting it for the socks themselves, getting solid colors like this would be great for heels and toes and cuffs. So yeah, this is a great Michaels natural fiber option. Alrighty, moving on to some non-wool natural fibers. The classic, if I had to go back in my years of knitting, like I said, I've been knitting since I was 10. I am now closing in on 33. Lily Sugar and Cream is probably my most used yarn. Some people hate knitting with cotton, doesn't bother me. I've knit many a cotton thing, many a dishcloth. I used to live in Texas up until 2 years ago, so not known for its cool weather. So I made a lot of kitchen items. My favorite kitchen towels have been my hand knit ones with like a really nice thick cotton. Like they're the best towels I'll ever use. And I stand by that. So Lily Sugar and Cream, they come in 1,000,001 colors. I have a whole variety of them here. These ones, these scrubby yarns, I don't like touching. I don't like touching. I've never knit with them. I do have them, so I can't testify if they're great, but the way that they feel kind of freaks me out. I'm not sure why I bought them. Moving on to more affordable yarns, natural fibers that you can get at big box stores. Scratch that. Natural fibers that you can get at local yarn shops. Cascade. I feel like none of this is like groundbreaking. Everything I'm going to show you, like, you've heard before, but whatever. Cascade 220 Superwash. I had this, I think I bought every color that my local yarn store sold. It is not cheap, but it is not hand-dyed price. It is a commercial yarn, probably $8 to $12 a skein, depending on where you are, maybe more now. I bought this like 2 years ago or so. Comes in 1,000,001 colors. This is the superwash variety. They also make non-superwash wool. It is 100 grams, 220 yards. That's where the 220 comes from. Two things I can show you that I've made with this is one of my favorite hats I've ever made. This is the ribbed hat, classic ribbed hat, I believe, from Pearl Soho. I've made I've made way more than that. I've made one for me and one for my husband, but I think I've even made many for children. But I made it out of this Cascade 220. It is so stretchy and ribby and beautiful and squishy and very warm. It's 100% wool and does the job, keeps my head warm. And I like this longer hat style. You can roll it up, obviously, and then it keeps your ears kind of extra warm because you got a double layer of fabric on there. Beautiful yarn. Let's kind of see it a little bit more up close there, but it is a great yarn, no notes. And then for sometimes if you're kind of wanting like a hand-dyed look, a lot of companies do kind of some like interesting commercial yarns too. Like commercial yarn doesn't have to just be solids. This is Cascade Heritage. This is the wave, but I also have other, I'm sure this is probably Cascade too. Yeah, this is Cascade Heritage, but this is just a solid. This is the Cascade Heritage in the wave. Both of them are 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. But this is a cool little scarf pattern, little shawlette. I can put the name of it either down below or in the video. It's one of those kind of skinny scarves, I think, that are like pretty popular right now. But this was just made out of another color of the Heritage Wave. Take it off. I guess I really didn't show you the actual yarn, but it's like a color shifting yarn. So it definitely kind of it provides that hand-dyed look without the hand-dyed price tag. So big fan of that. Then finally, this one's definitely online only, and that's Knit Picks. Knit Picks already is pretty affordable. However, many times a year they do really nice sales, and if you get those emails, that is a great time to stock up. The only two types of yarn I've used from Knit Picks have been Wool of the Andes, which is their worsted weight, 100% wool. I don't think it's superwash. I think it's just regular wool, which, by the way, this patents is regular wool. It's not superwash. So just keep that in mind if you're gonna like machine wash things. Probably don't. But yeah, this Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted weight, 110 yards for 50 grams. The other Knit Picks yarn I have a lot of is, this looks ridiculous. I have a lot of Palette, which is their fingering weight. Again, I think non-superwash. 50 grams is 231 yards, and I have it, I think, in every color they offer. No, I'm sure it's not. Knit Picks has so many colors for all of their yarns. Like when you go to actually order it, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of colors. It's so fun. But for this, I wanted just like a variety of colors because I was getting into color work. So I kind of wanted a palette, aptly named, to be able to use for different projects. So the first thing I used for this yarn was this cowl, this Halloween cowl from Stephanie, forgot the last name. I'll look it up and put it in the video. Lotman, perhaps, maybe. She has beautiful cowls with like have color work all up in them, and this one I just loved. I loved the little ghosties, the little pumpkins. I thought this turned out really well. But I bought all of this kind of because I bought a bunch of her patterns. It was like buy 3 get 1 free or something. So I have 4 of her cowl patterns that I think I have a Christmas one. They have a Valentine's Day. Like she has beautiful, really fun cowls, and they all have really cute little guys on there. I just love this. I love this so much. So this was made out of Knit Picks palette. And then my final suggestion for if you're trying to find yarn on a budget is try thrift stores. I have been unsuccessful. I don't go to a lot of thrift stores, but I have been to some, and mine have never had arts and craft supplies. I feel like on the internet people have said, oh, I bought this at a thrift store. Mine haven't had it. And in fact, I went to one here in Durham, and they laughed at me. I said, "Do you guys have any arts and crafts supplies?" And they were like, "No, this is a thrift store." I don't know. Other people have managed to do it. However, there is a arts and crafts specific thrift store in Durham, North Carolina, called the Scrap Exchange. And I have seen things on the interwebs that other cities have them too. So look at your city and see if they have some sort of like arts exchange or something like that. And I have found some great stuff at there. Yarn specifically is what I kind of look around more for. And I first went and looked around when I got my loom, which is over there. Hi, loom. Because I kind of wanted to practice on the loom without sacrificing some of my like good yarn. So I went to the thrift store and I bought a bunch of just old yarn. I don't know. So this was everything there was for me was like 50 cents to $1 for all of this stuff. So I have like full skein, and then even just like 100% cotton for warp threads. They make these little things where they kind of put little bits together, and you buy this whole thing. I think was $1, maybe 50 cents. $1's on here. So you can kind of find, like, they'll put little pallets together and you can buy all these things for $1. So that's a great place. If your town is blessed enough to have one, then it's a great place to kind of find weird stuff that you just may not have found for yourself. And, you know, even some of this is like 100%. Yeah, this is 100% wool. It's like a small skein, maybe just to, it's called needlepoint wool, so it's obviously meant for a small project, but it's 75 cents. So that's just one idea if your place, you know, where you live happens to have one. Yeah, that fire alarm really took it out of me. So I was wrapping up anyway. That's as good of a place as any to stop for the day. So we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. I don't know. Like I said, like my thrift stores don't sell it, so I wouldn't want to risk giving it to a store that's just gonna. Jesus. Oh. Let's see if it happens again. Is the house on fire? Okay, cool. Also, you can try Facebook Marketplace. That scared me so bad.